Then why is this one not? Good morning. Maybe it died. That sucks. I feel like it died. Okay. How's everybody? Hello. I was supposed to go live on TikTok, but if somebody hasn't gone live for 30 minutes on there, they can't co-host with you. And I have a Trauma Mama live with another content creator, Tony. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I think, there we go. Hear the people outside this office, like,
Am I on?
yeah.
Does it work? Okay.
Good morning.
Hi, I didn't go to the office. I'm still in my room. Good
It's all
morning.
good. You have good lighting in there.
Yeah. Girl, look.
I feel like this lighting is
Look at this.
actually too bright. Let me see.
I was not playing around with this lighting.
Let me see. It's a little better. Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
showing stage perfection.
I can't I can't wait till the kids are in school because I'm gonna be way more prepared. Like
Right.
but we're here. We showed up. That's what is important.
That's right. How do I
So
find my followers that I'm live? Does it automatically do that since I joined yours? No.
I think so. It might tell people that you're like live. I don't know.
All right.
I'm
Well,
not sure. I'm still learning. This is probably like my fourth or fifth live. I'm still learning the live world.
this is my first Instagram live.
Oh, okay.
And then, as you know, I'm not doing enough TikTok lives. That's why we couldn't do TikTok. But starting the next time, I'll be able to. I met the 30 minutes today. I literally took your advice. Put the phone down.
Yep. Just
So it says that I'm good on the 30 minutes. Now I just need one other day. So I did 2 out of 3 days. So I just need a third day, and I'm good. I can go live.
let's see. Bungie and Kenny both said you're live for your followers. So
Oh,
dope. Okay. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Today's hot topic, we're talking about should single moms be dating?
Yeah.
So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Tony Nova. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, but I'm also a single mom, and I share my journey on my Instagram and TikTok. And part of that journey, obviously, included a little blimp of dating, or attempting to date, should I say, and we'll get more into that.
Okay, okay. So we have a couple different things we're going to talk about. Um, I want to talk about the pressure and perception. So society, I feel like, always sends us mixed signals, right? Like, the children need a father figure in the house. Like, it's your job to, I've even heard from literally other women, like, it's your job once you become a single mom to like find them a good father figure. But then as soon as we are dating, then you're selfish, right? For not being with your kids, not showing up, not being as present because you've now allocated some of that time to dating. So it's paradoxical and incredibly frustrating to hear all of these opinions on how what we should do with our time. I don't feel as if men get those same type of questions when they're a single father. I'm not sure. I'm not a single dad, but I've never seen a man question some of those things. But what are your thoughts so far on like what you've been told for in terms of dating?
So for me, it's not, you have to add the trauma piece into it. And because of that, it's not just I'm a single mom due to a mutual split. I'm a single mom due to a traumatic situation where we had to leave for our safety. So there's two parts of that. The one is regardless of who I end up, deciding to date or when I end up deciding to date, everyone around me is like, be careful. Everyone's around me is pretty uptight with me bringing someone, children, and even me, because unfortunately, I could pretend that I didn't make the mistake before, but I did make that mistake before, and we ended up in a pretty bad situation. So people are more worried, and they love the idea of me taking my time. Most of my family is like, good, you're actually healing and focusing on you and the children. This is what you need. I do have some friends, and I have my little sister who's like, girl, it's been over a year. Like, she tried to play matchmaker, with just someone that we already knew, from like high school days, that is single, and things. It's cute little things like that that my sister will do, but the majority of everyone is super on board and supportive. Even my little sister, actually, she's still supportive. She just wants me to get a man. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. um, do you think that moms are able to want love and still also be a good mom at the same time?
Absolutely. I think the two are both important. Everyone, we always talk about having a safe, healthy, loving partner, whether you're a single dad or single mom. That's a great addition to what you already have going on. It's different when you're leaning on them for all your support, and you're utilizing that over, honestly, parenthood. But for a mother to want that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think you could do both.
Yeah. Um, Protecting kids. That is a really
Yeah,
important part of this segment. If we are going to date, if single moms are going to date, this is something that's a really important topic because what happens, we are, and I do truly believe we are more susceptible to predators
absolutely.
because they see you as vulnerable, even if you're doing okay.
Hmm.
Some men will see you and are like, okay, this is when you got to be careful watch out for the love bombing, like them moving too fast, them wanting to meet your kids, like
Yeah, wanting to move in pretty quickly.
wanting to move in, right? So that having healthy boundaries and being aware of what some of those like love bombing what that looks like will is definitely key when it comes to dating because there are some predators out there that just unfortunately want to be around your kids.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm also a huge advocate for believing in children. Whenever a child is uncomfortable around somebody, even if that's a family member, like you need to listen to your kid. You
Yeah.
know, that their kids are the most forgiving, loving, young little people. So for them to be uncomfortable around somebody and for them to speak up and say that,
Hmm.
most of the time they're not lying, you know?
Right.
So being really aware, like when they do meet, what do you think is like a good time frame for if when you are dating to bring a man around your kids?
Um, I I'm only going to speak for me because I feel like everyone has their idea of what works for them. So I'm not judging the other mom for how they move, but um, post, trauma, I probably would have thought 90 days, to be honest with you. I think 3 months is fair. And when I say 3 months, I do think they can meet in a public setting, like if they have children, like a park with their kids, like a little play date, a more light meeting, within that 90 days. But to actually, like, you know, be in an intimate setting, maybe in your home, around, they're waking up to that, man in your home. We all know that a single mom will sneak a man out before the kids wake up. We get it.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
feel that. Like, if I ever start dating, like, that's me. I'm sneaking, you get out. um,
exactly.
but in general, now after trauma, I don't think 90 days for me is enough. Um, I do feel like within that time frame, of course, I'll still do the public setting meetings, but I I have to play it by ear. I don't think I'm gonna be honest. 3 months, not anymore, but I don't know when. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. I have no idea what looks right. I just know I'm putting myself on timeout, and that means I have a probation period of 3 months minimum. But I think that I've done that before, is what I'm saying. Like, I've done the 3 month thing, and I it's tough. I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not dating actively now, so I'm not good at giving an exact time frame. But I can tell you, when I do start dating, 3 months won't be enough for me because I know with narcissists and abusers, they it takes longer than 3 months to show their true colors for the mask to drop. I can't put my kids at risk. I can't take that chance. So we're just throwing out numbers here. I would say for an intimate meeting, probably 6 months or more.
I think that that's a really fair number. Depending on a narcissist patient, sometimes they, I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it in relationships, like what Safari and Erica.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wanted her for so long. I mean, he
Mhm.
tried to get her for so long,
Yeah. Yeah.
married her, did all these things, and then as soon as he got her, that was when he's like, okay. And deep down inside, I really feel like that type of situation, like he despised her.
Yeah.
And for certain type of men, they, especially when you're like a successful woman, um, they don't like that, and they want to break you down with a narcissistic man, obviously.
Yes. Yes. No.
Um, so it's difficult to watch out for those because it can feel like, wow, like I met the love of my life, like this person really cares about me. And then for people to just switch up until you've experienced a narcissist,
Mhm.
an abuser, it's difficult for people to be like, there's no way, like you didn't see the red flags. Like
Right.
maybe when you look back, right? When I
Yeah.
truly look back, I'm like, well, I guess there was a little couple things off. But until you're involved with this type of manipulative person, you're you just don't talk about it.
That
And I
I,
just pray that you never meet anybody like that.
right, and I'm happy you brought that up because I did not. Along. I would say because I don't. I try to watch what I say because who knows what I ran into. But I feel like I've never dated a narcissist until my ex, my most recent ex, and I literally did not understand the red flags. When you bring up love bombing, all I remember is when things started looking odd, I'd go back to those good times and be like, oh, no, no,
Mm,
this mask drop, this odd behavior, this is a one off. The real him is who he showed me throughout all those months of us dating and falling in love. Like, oh no, he loves me. I am his everything. He's just having a bad month, bad, bad whatever. Um,
yeah.
so that's important for us to be careful when dating because that's why I said I'm putting myself on probation because if you really do introduce a man in my situation within that 3 month period, you're in that love bombing stage a lot of times. Even within that 6 months, let's be real, you're in that stage where now they're also love bombing the children, not just you. They're winning over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So because of that, you have a situation where you're not just in control of your feelings. It's also you have to take care of the children because narcissists will drop they will drop you all like it's nothing, and they also switch up like it's nothing. So um, I'm happy you brought up the love bombing because I think that's a big part of dating as a single mom that we have to be careful with, and
So
it
careful.
it happens.
For ladies, for those of you that are not familiar with what love bombing will look like, it will feel like you met your knight in shining armor that we all were sold this dream as a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're gonna notice all of the things that you really enjoy. They're going to study you, and they're gonna give you everything that you've ever wanted on a silver platter.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna give you gifts. They're gonna surprise you with trips and places and things, and
Say all the right things.
say all the right
Like
things.
they're-
And you're just gonna be like, wow, like this is what it must feel like to have somebody really, really, truly love you. And
Yeah.
it's so deceiving. And then one day it's just,
Yeah.
they snap. And you'll sit and you'll think about all those good things that they did. And you'll start questioning reality. You'll literally start questioning, are you going crazy? Did you cause this fight? Did you do something wrong? Because they were so sweet for so long. How could this person now be so terrible to me? So be careful if a man is immediately trying to give you the world. Not a good sign. It means that he doesn't have anything else to offer.
It's
You
so
know, like
true.
he doesn't have any
Give you the
emotional
world.
intelligence. He doesn't have any, there's no genuineness here. He's literally just looking to buy you. And if you fall for that, you'll see that they will switch up. And once you're sucked into that, it's very difficult to get out, and it is emotionally exhausting. And
Yeah.
you can stay in that for years. This
Yeah.
cycle,
It's a cycle.
and it's a
Yeah.
cycle. I was going to talk about how, oh, do you think that unmet needs for single moms can affect your parenting?
When you say are you talking about those needs?
Unmet needs, like, we're grown, we're human, like we
Oh,
have
I didn't know. I was
the
thinking,
desire to want to be loved by a significant other.
right,
I think it's very natural and not just, the
yeah,
like the freaky stuff, but
right, right,
just even physical touch, time, like
right.
all of those things that we do get from, the other person.
I'd say when I first became a single mom, obviously I craved that more because I had just left having that in a sense. But as time goes on, I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like I have unmet needs now, and
Mm.
that's the problem. That's probably why my little sister's like, "No, we need to get you a man," because she thinks that she's got to get comfortable. But I don't have unmet needs, and I honestly feel like because of the distance and the time frame, I find that I'm honestly genuinely more happy. Um, and I don't know if this is every, person when they become single, but I also found a deeper connection with myself where I wanted to start
Mm.
being healthy and look good for my favorite part is look good for me.
Mm.
I know this sounds silly, but I have short hair. My ex-husband hated the short hair thing, like hated it. I did what I wanted to do. And it's like back to that. I'm finding myself doing what I want to do. I'm finding myself, you know, being healthy because I want to live long for my children. I want to be healthy for me. I'm showing up for myself now. And if
Mm.
were to get someone in the future, they would honestly match my energy and be an addition to what I already have. So I'm not craving or feeling like I'm missing out on it. Um, it I did go on a date. Like I don't know if we're gonna get into that later, but I did go on a date and he did touch my hand. And the sad thing is, it turned me off. Like
Oh.
I didn't like that, and which is weird because the hand touch isn't the problem. Like trust me, I'd rather him touch my hand than something else. But for some reason, I felt like personal space. But there's a fine line, right? Like I could be getting too comfortable because somebody touched my hand, and it was not a weird way. It was pretty friendly, but it bothered me in my head. I didn't say anything, but I remember thinking, like, oh, don't touch me. So
Mm.
there's a fine line of maybe figuring out a good middle ground of, stay true to yourself. But if you're ready, be open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think I need to work on a little bit more being open when I'm ready because I definitely wasn't open at all.
Being single, we now have the agency to figure out who we are, and to do what we love to do. And I saw a quote somewhere, I'm sure you've seen it, and it's like, however you desire to be loved, love yourself that way, right?
Yeah.
So if you wish you got flowers, or you wish somebody, took a walk with you on the beach, or whatever your love language is, whatever you like to do that for yourself. And I truly do believe when you love yourself, you'll find that a lot of those unmet needs you're not really craving anymore.
Yeah.
And you now have this level of serenity that is just priceless. And it's going to take a very strong individual who is also doing the self work on themselves and loving themselves to come in and now share that serenity together. It's a whole new epiphany when you are alone and you're forced to work on yourself. Um,
Yeah.
you could easily just go find anybody, right?
Right.
I think there's this huge misconception that single moms can't find a man, and it's like that's
Right.
no.
Right.
You can find
Oh, yeah.
somebody, but can you find somebody that is a good person, that has emotional intelligence, that is kind, that is God fearing, like all of these things,
Right.
all of these attributes that we are now embodying
Mhm.
and embracing. Um, you get to learn. That's what I feel like from our past relationships. You get to really learn what you don't want, and you get another chance. And when you take that time to just focus on yourself, focus on the kids, when you're ready to go and date, you'll know when you're ready, but it won't be because you are vulnerable. It won't be because you're desperate. It won't be because you're just craving this intimacy that
Mhm.
could be a fallacy.
Yeah.
So it will leave you in a much better place where you're not so susceptible to individuals who are looking to take advantage of you.
Yes. I really love that because I, first of all, single moms are bad A. I don't know if we can curse on live, so I'm just say bad A.
I know you have to be careful what you say.
The single moms are bad A, right? And like, we don't have, well, I'll be clear. We don't have an issue with finding a man. Let's be real. We can go out and find anybody. Let's just say anybody because, so we, I'm trying to, all right. We can find anybody and we choose not to because that's the self-love you were talking about. We value ourselves. We value having the
Hmm.
if we're going to open up again, let someone in, let someone around our children, we value finding the right type of person. And I think that's just so important to remind single moms that we don't have to rush. We go on our time. Some I know a lot of women that are just lover girls at heart, right? Like love being in a relationship. Nothing's wrong with that either, right? Like it's your
Hmm.
path and it's your, it's your decision at the end of the day. But I feel like for those people that are lover girls and love being in relationships, please just be safe. Like pick the right partner, pick safe partners because at the end of the day, I feel like lover girls are people that just love being the wife or love being the girlfriend. Like I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it because it's not a problem being like that. The problem is the type of men that see that, that the
Yeah,
type of advantage of that, and that's what bothers me. It's some people have a big heart. Some people just love being
they
in
do.
relationships, and like that's just their vibe, and there's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes you just open the door for the
Be
wrong.
careful.
Right, right,
Yeah,
and I'm sure
and you can
people
have
have.
a big heart,
Yes,
but you
yes,
need to have that big heart with boundaries because if you
yes.
don't,
Big heart.
if you got that big heart with boundaries, you're going to be constantly filling up everybody else's cup but your own, and everybody's going to take advantage of that. And when you learn to have a big heart with boundaries, you're actually going to attract other individuals who are just like you, and they're going to fill up your cup and you're going to fill up their cup, and it's going to be this beautiful back and forth. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yep,
There's not going to be a power imbalance, and you're going to feel equally yoked,
big heart with
whatever
boundaries.
relationship
I'm
that
still
is. It could be platonic, it could be romantic, whatever it is, right?
mm,
um so
agreed.
yeah, that's I feel that for the lover girls. I'm a lover girl, big heart. I'm a people pleaser, and this, bringing the whole entire world on my healing journey, I've really had to hold myself accountable for some of these tendencies that I keep slipping back into. And learning what a boundary is, learning how to set them in all different types of scenarios has drastically changed the dynamic and the strength of my relationships with everybody. And I am so happy. I feel as if I did learn it a little late. I wish I would have learned these characteristics and these practices younger, in my younger days.
Yeah,
I'm like, why don't we teach this in school? But they are now. They are now teaching some of this
fine.
in school. Like I have some teacher clients and they are teaching what a boundary is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely teaching my kids so that they can have healthier relationships, and it just weeds out those individuals who do not have a healthy sense of self and a healthy style of communication, and you won't end up in this toxic dynamic with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I feel you. That's definitely some advice for the lover girls out there.
And Nikki, she commented in a big heart for yourself. Let me just say that is beyond true because a lot of times we give, and we don't have that same for ourselves. And I really like that she commented that because being a lover girl is great, but we need to be a lover girl to ourselves too because we,
Period.
so I agree, Nikki.
And then Nikki said she's healing from an ex leaving her family of three girls abruptly. I had no idea what a narcissist was. Yeah, a lot of us don't know what
Yeah.
a narcissist is
And
until you are in
experience.
a relationship with one. You literally are like Googling, like 3 a.m., you're Googling, right? Like, why is this person hot and then cold and then doing this and doing that? And then all of
Yes.
a sudden it's like you're reading a blog that's like are you dating a narcissist? Like 10 facts that you could be dating a narcissist. And then you go down this rabbit hole. Well, this is my experience. I don't know if y'all, but I went down this rabbit hole where now I basically have like a PhD in narcissism because I read all these books on borderline personality disorder, narcissism, like all the different types of narcissists, because there's different kinds. There's a covert narcissist,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
There's so many different types of narcissism. So I became well versed in this aspect of psychology because I was mind boggled on how could this person be like this. So
Right.
usually that's what happens. You don't end up finding out what a narcissist is until you're dealing with them, which is really unfortunate because once you're in it, it's not easy to depart from.
And it's crazy you say that because I would Google, and I still didn't have a name for it, by the way. I would Google a lot of these things, but I never had a name. It wasn't until after I left him that we had a third party communicator. It was his brother's wife. And I felt like she was neutral. She wasn't, but at the time I felt like she was neutral. And she's the first person who called him a narcissist. She's like, he's a narcissist because she was the third party
Mm,
experiencing a little bit, just a snippet of what I was by communicating with him. It's a third party and the things he was saying to her, and like it was ridiculous. And when she said that, I was like, oh my god, it's like a bell went off. Like that's
that's
it.
what this person
Her
is.
it
Yeah,
to finally realize, and I started googling and I was like, oh my god, like this is what it is. And it he fits. I hate that, but they fit the what do you call it, the what is the term?
diagnosis.
Pretty much fit the whatever. They fit it to a T, and almost every woman that dealt with a narcissist, you could literally Google, some of the traits, and you'll see like at least 4 or 5 that happen to you, and you're like, oh my god, it makes sense, and it's scary because
Birthdays always ruin a birthday. Always. They
mine was vacation more than birthday.
okay.
Vacations he would ruin. Like it just he would ruin. We took 2 like away vacations, ruin both. And I didn't understand like why we had to have this
Yeah,
big up. And it's just ugh, oh goodness. I can go on and on, but they say that narcissism and the word is just thrown around.
it
And
is. It's overused.
yeah, and like here's the thing though. I could agree with that, but I also can say that like I've never called any other ex or any other person that I've experienced a narcissist until this one person. And trust
Yeah,
me, breakups where like it didn't end the best, but there was no abuse or narcissism involved. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I I do think it can get thrown around, but also there's a lot of narcissists out here, or at
There
least
are
with the traits.
so many, so many. So yeah, that's a whole nother experience. And I really pray that nobody runs into somebody like that because it's yeah, when you're up Googling and when you're having to write down like what happened because you I literally feel like you're going crazy. And I would write down fights. Like I literally would go pull up in my notes app and write down how the fight transpired so that I could remember it correctly because
Yes.
he'd always repeat it back to me or when we'd have a discussion about it, he'd warp reality. And I'm
Yes.
like, that's not what happened. I'd have to pull up my notes and I'm like, no, this is what happened. And it's like that 24/7 all the time. Do you have your decent days? Yeah, but there, you're still trying to recover from whatever had happened a couple days ago or a week ago. Um,
That's
it's
insane.
just,
I wrote it
yeah,
down. I did it too. That's why I'm like shocked that like this is I don't have one unique experience, right? Because we all deal with this. Like so not we all, but so many women deal with this. And it's
so
in
many.
you writing it down just brought me back to same situation where
Mhm.
something would happen. And um first, in the moment after like I got upset, like he'd apologize and admitted and things like that, which was different, right? You're like, okay. But then when we repeat it or the stories retold, it was me. I was the problem and I was exaggerating and it didn't happen the way I said it happened. But like, what? And I would actually start thinking, I know this is crazy, but it's like the lies that add up. And I would start thinking back on all the things in the beginning where he would say something, and then I would, talk about him like I said that, and I would literally think that maybe I heard wrong and let it go. And I started thinking of all the times that that would happen, and I'm like, oh my god, like he, they do make you doubt your reality.
Did y'all go to therapy?
Yes, we went to 2 different therapists. He admitted to both that he was abusive. The first was when he was deployed, and and no, actually, the first one he didn't admit he was abusive. On that one, he admitted that he had anger issues. The second one is where he admitted he was physically abusive, and that's the one that told me, like he said, how would you feel if your daughter was dating someone like him? And we actually ended up like not firing her, but getting a new therapist because she said that.
Wow. I went to therapy. Well, first I was going to therapy on my own, and the therapist literally told me everybody that comes to see me is because you have you're aware of yourself and you are here based on because of the people that do need should actually be in my chair, right? You're going to therapy off of the people that aren't going to therapy.
Mm.
And I was like, wow. Because I was like, is it me? Is there something wrong with me? And she's like, if there was, you wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. Like, you're literally going to therapy because the people that
Everything.
should be here. But they have absolutely, like, they're stuck in whatever age that they went through something really traumatic. Like, they're still stuck. Their brain is still stuck. And most of the time there's really no cure for it. It's actually really sad, like when you really look at it. But these people, most of the time, these people are going to be manipulative and abusive for the remaining of their life. And
Right.
he went to one therapy session one time, right?
Okay.
And um, he when he left, he hated the session. But when he left, and it was just her and I, she looked at me and she said, "You need to run."
They do warn you, like a good
She
therapist.
said, "You need to run." She says, "This is going to get worse with time and you need
Yep.
to run. This will never get better." And I was just like, whoa. Like, I remember just feeling scared, really, really scared.
Was therapy your idea?
Yeah.
Because it was mine. That's why I'm like wondering because it was
Yeah.
mine,
Well,
and
yeah.
I
Because we're like, okay, let's fix this. Like,
right. That's
those
literally
type of individuals,
all.
narcissistic individuals, don't think there's anything wrong with them. That's the problem, is they never
Yeah.
think they're the problem. And
Yeah.
if they can't take any accountability and do any self-work, we're never going to get to a better place. So when you hear people, I have a lot of comments that I get from some men that are like, you should have worked it out with your baby daddy, and you need to go back to your baby daddy, and y'all need to stop breaking up homes. And it's like, it's really not that simple. There's situations where there's individuals you will never be able to work out with. It'll never work out.
See, I love that you said that because you know how I said there was two therapists. There was two female therapists. It was the one when he was deployed, and then the one after that told me I need to leave. Because of her saying that, we ended up getting another. And I don't really count this guy as a therapist because it was one session and I was like done. But he did the same thing where he admitted the abuse, right? This guy was applauding him, proud of him for admitting it, saying that he feels like we have a strong, solid foundation because he's able to admit his abuse, and he like was so positive to my then husband. And I'm
Mm.
like, this is so different than the therapist just before who recognized the red flags, recognized this wasn't safe. This guy's over here like proud that he's taking,
Who
therapy.
picked the second therapist? Did he
He
find him?
did. It was a man.
He found him, and that's what happened. So that's something else that when I was reading all of the books on narcissism, that was something that a lot of authors would warn you about. They would say, like, if you try to go to therapy, they're either going to manipulate the therapist or they're going to find their own therapist that agrees with them.
Yes, that man. I feel like he didn't necessarily agree with the abuse, but he agreed that he was changing, even though the the most recent occurrence was like a week before we started meeting with him, but apparently he changed. He said we had other therapists, past short term therapists, and yeah, he had no negative things to say about the situation. He felt like we were on the right path and that things would like he was I think he had said a statement like, I could see you're gonna have a strong marriage because you're already taking the steps early. And he said the first 5 years are the hardest. You're just going through the ups and downs. Okay, yeah, abuse is up and down. Manipulation is up and down. This is very,
Wow.
but yeah, like, and let me be clear, just because he's a male doesn't mean that he would have automatically taken a side. I just felt the difference of having the two females prior and then him in this particular situation.
Yeah, that is so difficult.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good conversation. Okay, I did want to talk about some tools and boundaries when it comes to dating, because for any moms that are going to be listening to this that are actively dating,
Hmm.
what are some things that you were doing when you were dating to kind of vet, like in the beginning, very beginning?
Yeah, so the first time I had like a snippet of dating, I listened a lot more than I spoke in that case.
Mm.
by listening, I was able to see that he was avoiding certain questions or avoiding certain topics, which gave me a bad vibe. And I found out like soon after that he was actually abusive to his ex, and she had a restraining order. So trusting your gut,
Oh,
one, and that was short lived because of that, right?
yeah,
And pause because of that situation. I was like, oh, I'm not good at this. I'm really putting myself in timeout. But then not too long ago, at the start of summer, just someone I knew from I do powerlifting, not lately, but I do powerlifting, and I got injured. And he was just someone supportive in the gym. Well, he would reach out to check on me during injury and ask me to go out. And I kind of put it off. I put it off for multiple reasons, but the main reason is like, I think he's like 30. So I'm like a few
yeah,
years older. But I just felt like, he doesn't have kids and things like that. I'm like, yeah, he's, we're at two different stages possibly. So when I finally did go on a date with him, he was respectful. He was the one that touched my hand that gave me but other than that little instance, which again, that wasn't anything I felt like he did. I it was I still trusted my instinct, and I just felt like he wasn't my person, and I still wasn't ready. And I think when single moms want to date, don't do it just because, or you think you should because it's been a while. Do it when you're ready, because this could have been a good guy at a different time. I have no idea, but
yeah. You
because I
weren't
wasn't ready,
ready.
yeah, because I wasn't ready, and no matter what, I would see things as negative, in my opinion. I felt like it didn't go anywhere.
So is
And
that the only dating you've done?
that's it. That was the last situation. And even that, like when he asked for a second date, I was honest. I was like, hey, I'm honestly just not ready. Nothing against you, but yeah, that's
Wow.
the dating I've done. I told you, they're trying to get me out here. My little sister's trying to get me out here, but um, I dip my foot in and dip it right back out. And just so you know, this has been my personality even before the trauma. When
Mm.
I worked a lot and I had a pretty good career. So when I was a single mom of my son, I still dated funny. Like if I knew you, then I would trust you a little bit more, like knew you in the friend group. But for strangers, I always acted weird. Even my ex-husband, I canceled our first date because I told him my leg hurted from Pilates. Like my leg didn't hurt. I just didn't want to go. And then
Yeah.
we ended up, rescheduling it. And that's how we started dating. But I've never been a big dater in general, to be honest.
Oh, this light keeps going off. It's like a motion.
Oh
But
yeah. Okay.
there we
Okay.
go. Well, I've been actively dating. I follow a couple dating coaches. Anwar is my favorite. I love him. He calls himself the fairy god father to all of us, and he focuses on women of color. He helps everyone date, but he really focuses on women of color. And I love his dating advice. It has been truly, it's changed my dating experience. But I have been seriously dating,
Okay.
and some of the things that I look out for, well, very beginning stages, like I do a background check immediately.
Yes.
Immediately, I'm looking at all social media profiles. I'm looking, I use truepeoplesearch.com.
Yes.
I
Okay.
love that one. I look that up and I look at your, address and I see if you have another woman living there. Because I found out there was a man that was married based on truepeoplesearch.com. Yeah, he was on a dating website. Found out he was married just from truepeoplesearch.com. So I immediately make sure you're not married, you don't have any criminal cases, active cases, anything like that, any domestic violence. Like I'm doing a full background check on you
Yes.
before we even go out. And then, yeah, going out on the date, definitely doing more listening. I do, obviously I'll engage in conversation and talk. I'm not just going to sit there and be quiet, but a man will tell you everything. They don't blatantly say it, but a man will tell you, and you got to listen to those little,
Mm-hmm.
like when they say, my ex, she was so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely,
Oh,
what he's really saying is, I'm the crazy one.
I made
So,
I made
whatever it is, like it's the opposite, right? So I will try to listen and see what is he hyper focusing on in the conversation. Like is he
Yep.
just bashing his ex, or is he only talking about things that could appear like he's full of himself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I do try to listen a little bit more on that first date and see what's going on. And setting those boundaries have been really important in my journey. So, I don't allow access all the time.
Yep.
So that's a red flag. I was dating a guy one time who, I mean, we were only on maybe the fourth date, and he didn't like that I wasn't available to talk to him more often. He felt like I just wasn't there. And that was a red flag for me because it was a huge paragraph, like emotional paragraph of him pouring out his emotions that I'm not here present more. And I'm like, we're still getting to know each other. And
Right.
you know that I'm a mom, a single mom at that. So I'm very busy and you're pressuring me, even though I've already explained to you that, like, this is a boundary for me. I'm not going to be able to talk to you every single day whenever you want. That's just not, that doesn't work for me. So if that doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. But he kept
Right.
pressuring me that I was making him feel uncomfortable. And he didn't care about my boundary that I had set for conversation and the
Right.
capacity at which I was available. And that was it for me. I cut
Yep.
it off. Like, I literally was like, that this is not good. But the old me, right, probably would have gave him some slack and been like, oh, like, he just really wants to be around me and really wants to talk to me. No, the fact that he doesn't care if I'm tired or I have a certain energy level that I'm able to deal with right now, and the fact that he doesn't respect that boundary, that means down the line he will cross something that's a much more important boundary,
Yep.
something bigger, and he feels that his feelings override my boundaries. So I was just like, yeah, I'm done. And I cut it off. And it felt so good because I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to move on from that, not feel bad about it. And people do reveal their true colors, and you'll
Yeah.
see the compatibility early on. And that's been really helpful for me, setting those boundaries early on and listening for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love, first of all, I love the searching them online. I didn't think I should say that, but I do the same thing.
No, you
Um,
have to. You
I think that's why
100% have to.
I do it for many reasons, but the kids are number one reason to that.
Yep.
Mm. Um, and I love that you said that. Another like protection thing I do is I actually don't give out my location, like my address in any capacity.
Never. I don't let them pick me up. I
Yeah,
meet them for the
be
longest
there. Like,
time. I meet them at whatever
yep,
place we're dating at. I do
there.
not let a man pick me
Yep.
up from my house. You are not
And
picking
they'll
me up from my
ask, they'll
house.
pick you up. It's nope, 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 nope. Meet you there. Pay for
So
park.
I was
I'm
dating.
gonna
I
the last cost to park. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, don't care.
I I was dating a man for it was going around maybe 3 months,
Mm.
and so things are like kind of getting a little bit more serious, right? So I'm starting to allow him into my personal space more. I finally started letting him pick me up from my house for a date. And we had finally had the discussion of whether or not I was going to allow him to let him meet my kids.
Right,
And we went somewhere together. And after that, we had that discussion again. Like, so what do you think? Is that something? And he kind of switched up. Like, he was like, well, I don't really know. And he has kids, but they're much older. So he's like, I don't really know if I'm ready for that yet. And I'm like, okay, well then we should just stop because the whole point of, obviously, I have kids.
right.
If eventually if you're unsure about that, then that's it for
You're
me.
sure about us because
Then
that's
this is a package deal. So it had been to that point where it's like, okay, now it's been so many months to where you should be meeting them maybe at a park or something like that, and it limits also our time that we can spend together because I am mostly with my kids, so it's like
right.
after 4 months, we should be able to go to Chuck E. Cheese or go do whatever. um but I had to cut it off because he had some uncomfortability. But I'm just glad, right, that, like, again, true colors were revealed and nobody met my kids. They have no idea about any of these situations.
Right.
But nobody's made it to that point where I'm like, feel that, yeah, okay, you can meet my kids. So again, a boundary, allowing that time to pass and see where their true colors are gonna be shown.
I agree. I love that. Okay. I'm learning some things too from you when I'm ready. Like I'm loving the information, especially how quick you are to cut them off. I feel like that's so me because I'm not getting emotionally invested in somebody. To be honest, during that dating stage, I really
Mhm.
like what you said. Get to know them, listen, um, understand their values in this case, and see what they're really about. And during that stage, I'm very interested, but emotionally invested, no, because at any moment, um, I feel like I should be able to walk away without any issues. So
Yeah.
love how you're moving because to me that tells me that as a mom you're getting to know them and you're definitely being open to finding your person, but you're able to also put you first, put your kids first, and know when to walk away. And I think that's the thing about dating as a single mom. A lot of times we get emotionally invested fast because we like the ideal, we like the help, and we're not ready to walk away when we should, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, and it is exhausting. So I love that you said, you limit your emotional capacity for dating, because as women, we are emotional creatures. So when we do become emotionally attached to somebody, it becomes quite difficult to just walk away.
Yep.
Um, but if you're able to control your emotions as a woman, that's key right there. Being able to control your emotions, for sure. So yeah, no, it's a difficult journey. It's exhausting. I take breaks sometimes with dating. Sometimes I'm just like, okay. Like after that, I took a little break. But I'm not a quitter. I'm keeping faith. Dating is supposed to be fun. So if it's not fun, you're definitely doing it the wrong way.
Somebody
Yeah,
asked the
is
question.
it exhausting? Yeah, but it should be fun.
It should be fun.
If a guy got kids, do you feel
I didn't.
comfortable meeting the children? Again, I think it goes the same way. I wouldn't want to meet the kids until I knew that this was going to be something serious, because kids can get attached to people. Um, and yeah, and I would definitely want to know if there's a healthy relationship between you and the
Mhm.
mom,
Yes.
because I don't want to disrespect the mom where she maybe doesn't want you bringing, her kid around women she doesn't know. You hear such terrible stories about boyfriends or girlfriends harming children.
Hmm.
Um, and it's really sad when you hear that, especially when it's like you give your baby to, the other parent thinking they're safe. Meanwhile, they got somebody else around your kid that you don't know about, and now your baby, something happened to your baby. So it would have to be like if the mother is around, like I would want her to also know that I'm going to be meeting them. Um, so I'm hoping they have a healthy
That,
relationship enough to where it's like, yeah, 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 okay. Um, And that would be a green flag for a man too. Like if you have a
yeah,
healthy co-parenting relationship with the
yeah.
mother of your kids and you are able to sustain that, that's a huge green flag.
I love that you notice that's a green flag because if I'm meeting a guy and he has children, number one, I think for me to be around your kids, she needs to know, right? Like I think a respect to mothers, tell them that, you plan on introducing me, make sure she's okay with it. Maybe
Hmm.
first, which is absolutely fair. And I'm gonna, if it's serious, obviously, I'm meeting her. I'm respecting all her boundaries. I'm listening to her, and that's more for a formal meeting. But for informal things like a play date setup, I'm a little bit more open to that, only because, like I'll give you an example. I don't have to date everyone that I set up a play date. I don't care if you're a single dad or
Exactly.
we can play date our kids, even if you're interested in me or if we're lightly talking. Play dates in public settings like a park, that's fine. Birthday part, like kids' birthday parties, jump trampoline places. I'll do that with a single mom. I'll do that with a single dad. But when we're
Right.
talking dating and being formal, and we're serious about each other to the point where our kids are meeting, always respect the other parent in that situation.
Always, for sure. Yeah, and it's another big concern too, because you're afraid if you're going to be walking into some kind of drama that maybe you're not sure, right? You're completely oblivious because you've been given limited information. And I know this is
Yes.
particularly true for men, right? That's one of the reasons why men are a little bit more hesitant to date single moms, because their baby daddy might be coming through like ready to whoop some butt. They don't want that drama.
Right.
So
I love that. Nobody.
yeah, nobody wants that
I didn't
drama.
say
So you got to make sure it's a safe space for
safe.
both all parties.
Yes. Yes.
Like, does your baby daddy, baby mama know that you're dating, and how do they feel about that? Like, are they okay? Do they not care? Do they still have emotions and feelings? Like, are they going to show up banging on the door?
Agreed. I love. that safe space because it's like ugh, I'm not trying to get into anything. Uh,
Yeah,
no thanks. me,
exactly.
me and baby mom
Somebody
be besties at this point.
somebody's inviting us to a 420 friendly
Oh,
collab. You'll have to DM us if it's something business. You can DM me. Um,
yes,
yeah.
DM me. I'm reading it now. Um, but did you hear what I said? I was like, I want to be besties. I'm about to be besties with your baby mom. Like
Oh yeah.
my
No,
vibe,
straight up.
vibe.
Yeah,
I'm
I love those
fine with being
relationships.
cool. Yes, like
Yeah, when you see that everybody can get together, because the thing is it's really about the kids. And
mm,
when you, as a adult, when you're able to put the kids first and their happiness, and
yep,
even if you don't love the person anymore, it's like when you know that you guys can come together and keep the peace for the
yeah,
kids, you have great emotional regulation.
yeah. I love that.
Hmm.
Yep, I agree. And you know what's funny? We as single moms, we always see it from our point of view. But if you think about it from the other mom's point of view in this situation, like her ex-spouse is now dating. Think about how they would feel if, you just came in, met their kids. Oh, posting their kids. First of all, don't post anybody's kids. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
dating. That's messed up. But also boundaries, right? Like we have to have boundaries when dating single dads as single moms because
Hmm.
we're single moms don't mean we know it all. We know more than the mom. We need to have those boundaries too, where we understand that we are bonus, especially like if it becomes serious, we get married, we're the bonus mom. We're in addition
Hmm.
to their actual parent. But when we're
Yeah.
dating and it's getting serious, we're still a bonus in that sense. But I hate to say it like this, but our roles are a little bit different. We're like the supporting character in the movie to those kids.
Yeah.
We're there for them 100%, but we are not the parents. And when you become a step parent, obviously we feel a little bit more deeper. Like we feel like we have that solid ground now in their lives because it just feels, in my opinion, we probably already wanted that when we were in the serious relationship, but now we feel
Yeah.
it. So I just feel like being a single mom and dating, if I were to date a single dad, my ideal situation, if he, would be he's close, well, sorry, he's cordial and friendly with his ex. Me and his ex would be cordial and friendly. I respect her, she respects me, and I respect boundaries. You know what I mean? We all respect the same boundaries of the roles we play to help the kids because that's about the kids. And I think we have to remember that too because I do see situations where single moms come in, they bash the mother of the child, and I think that's so wrong for children because how do you think they feel if they knew
Yeah.
you were bashing their mom, right? Like that's not that's not fair either. So it's just some
Yeah.
little that we have to remember when we decide to date single dads. As
Yeah.
single, not as single
Yeah.
mom, to be honest.
Yeah. No, for sure. Maintaining it to be an amicable
Right.
situation. So he's saying what some types of BM or B day have ill feelings towards the parent. Well, yeah, we talked about that. So
Yeah.
sometimes that does happen. But it's a green flag if they're able to have some emotional regulation and put that behind and
Yeah.
put the kids above that, right? Like the priority should always be your kids, and their environment should be non-toxic. So unfortunately, some people, they don't put that as a priority for their children. They will have these toxic disputes in front of the kids, and they're unable to maintain a healthy environment for them, and that's not a priority for them at whatever given time for whatever given reason. And that's a situation where when you're dating, if you do have that type of co-parent, you need to be honest that they
Right.
could potentially be dealing with somebody who's not a healthy individual.
Right.
And then they'll have to make a decision based on if they want to be a part of that. So it does suck if you are co-parenting with somebody who is not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You in a way, you are really limited in your dating world. People might not want to deal with you, and it sucks, because
And that,
it's like it's not like you're not worthy or deserving of love.
mm-hmm.
But if it's not a healthy environment, people might not want to participate. I'm a single dad, and my BM already moved on, had another kid with someone, and still be mad, and I'm trying to date.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So for me, if the guy's honest, and obviously like there's in this particular, when there's a separation involved, obviously we know that we'll get the side of the person we're with. You know what I mean? Like we'll lean more towards the person we're with and trusting them. So
Hmm.
I'm meeting a guy and he has a difficult, ex for whatever reason. I feel like I'm still gonna take a safe step back. If I still want to move forward, I will. Like, you know what I mean? If I still feel interested, I'm gonna move forward. However, the safe step back is I'm not gonna get involved in that drama, but I am gonna expect him to handle it in the sense of, all right, she's keeping the kids away. You know there's court. You know that
Yeah.
the judge, like nowadays too, especially the judge don't like that. They don't like a parent going against court orders. There's so much you could do in the works to handle that. If it gets, to be even unsafe, I'm pretty sure you could set up meetings at the police station for drop offs, pickups, but that's on them. Like,
You hit a key point. The other parent, I expect him to handle that.
yes,
That's not your
absolutely.
place to handle.
That's,
So for you trying to date, if you're this person commenting, if your BM is still mad and maybe causing some havoc, it's your responsibility to set some boundaries so that your person you're potentially dating doesn't have to deal with that.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like there's always a solution to the problem, as long as obviously it doesn't get too crazy. I know there's
yeah,
situations, but every time I've heard like someone give an excuse, and I'm not saying this person, I'm just saying in general, like I'll be like, okay, you better go like go to court. Like especially if it's my friends, I'm like, go to court and handle this, because at the end of the day, like you should be able to date. This person that commented should be able to date. They should be able to have their own life. Exes
yes,
exes, and when you become co-parents, it's all about the kids. So if that person's making it about anything else but the kids, that's where you just set those boundaries and handle your business. And if I'm the girlfriend or a new relationship to that person, they're doing that themselves. I'm supporting them. They can vent to me, I'll be there, but I'm not getting involved.
exactly.
I i don't know your true dynamic. I only know your situation and what you're telling me, and I'm supporting you. So
So basically, you don't need isolation, but discernment.
yes, I love that, because I'm not
Yeah,
gonna turn a good, like if I feel like this is a good man, it's a good man, Savannah. I'm not
that's a
turning
good
away.
man, Savannah.
I'm not turning away
Nothing
a
beats a Jet
difficult
2
ex.
holiday.
Hell no.
So, cheers to modeling emotional intelligence and boundaries for our kids, and cheers to still believing in love. The fact that we've been in really unfortunate, toxic situations in the past, and that we still are getting up every day and trying, or maybe you're taking a break and just loving yourself, whatever that situation looks like for you.
Yep.
This is not linear. And just do what's best for you, do what's best for your kids, but definitely the kids need to be priority when it comes to dating. It looks a lot different than when you're just single without kids dating.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks, Amber, for taking the time to set this up. The next one can be on TikTok because I'll be
I
ready.
know we got to get on TikTok. We got
Uh,
to get on the TikTok.
but no, I appreciate it. I think it's a really important topic.
Thank you so much, Tony, for coming today.
Of
Even with
course.
all of our little minor inconveniences we had this morning, we figured it out. That's what moms do. All we do is figure it out every day. Well, we'll be in touch, and I hope you have a great
You too.
day and good luck with whenever you do start dating again.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Bye.